What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the State of MMA Today. It has been such a long time. It's almost been 3 weeks now. Good gosh. Why, you ask? Oh, we had a lot going on, guys. I appreciate all the support and all the people reaching out that want some more of this. Love you guys. Especially after this past weekend's fight on Fox with Justin Gaethje and Mike Vick. We'll get to that in a minute, guys. Holy crap. Wow. Wow. If you're new to the show, this is the State of MMA Today. I'm your host, Jeremy Roach. We've got 9 previous episodes. We're on 10. Thank you guys so much for making it here with me. I really appreciate that. This is what we do with the show. As you see, we got the State of MMA back here. We're in the green screen studios. We do not have an absolutely new gym right now, so we will be going back to one of my all-time favorites here at the State of MMA Today. I believe we're going to go with, boom, TDC MMA and Fitness in the South Loop. Guys, you've heard about them before here in Chicago. They're always helping me out. They're always giving me some feedback. So shout out to those guys. Much appreciated. Absolutely love it. All the support from those guys out there. Whew. So, guys, if you did not watch UFC on Fox last night or on FS1, whatever they want to call it. What are they calling it these days? UFC Fight Night. You missed a great main event. All of the build-up to that fight, all of the talking, the back and forth. If you were anybody that kind of knew MMA or you've been in the scene before and you heard about James Vick, there's always been one knock on him. That's his footwork and his chin. He seems to, Beneil Dariush over the top right hand, over the top left, maybe. Left, I think it was an overhand right. Clipped him, dropped him. I'm a tall guy myself, former fighter as well, so I know exactly what Vick is going through. Being 6'3" at 155, much smaller guys. Gaethje, let's look at his stat here. 71 inches, 75. You would think it's not too much, but he's underneath. So your chin's up a lot, especially when you're stepping back. Clip. It's easier, it's harder to get knocked out when you're tucked in and someone can't hit you from underneath in here. That's where those cheeky little uppercuts come in. So Vick's prone at that weight division to those overhand and those clips, and it's also his style. He hasn't adapted. Vick's been around for a little while. He's still a younger kid. I believe he was on The Ultimate Fighter. One of those, I mean, again, I got a top 10 guy from The Ultimate Fighter on a fight night headlining. It is coming back, by the way, just so you guys know, after all this bullcrap and Dana White saying you got about 1 million people who actually watch it by the time you do a DVR and everything else. For all the hate that it does get, I'm absolutely excited to hear Dana White come back and say that The Ultimate Fighter, the show, tough show, is going to be coming over to ESPN. Makes sense. You know, you have to provide content, and besides having fights every weekend and you're looking for a fight or your Tuesday Night Contender Series is going to be there as well, you need a little bit something else, something maybe for the less mainstream, something more for the average viewer or people coming in. It's easier to watch fighting when you learn who your guys are. You're like, oh, and you grow attached to them as it goes on. I feel like there's a disconnect from certain fighters in that they don't understand that sometimes people just aren't watching just to watch a fight. It's they're invested in that person. And what Tough helps you do is invest yourself in people. You start to see a little bit of personalities, and yeah, they sway things the way that they want to show them, as do all shows. We all know that. That's just what's going to happen. But I love that it's coming back. I'm absolutely super happy. But we're going to go back into the card here, guys, because there's some great. Moraga getting stopped by Figueroa was crazy. John Moraga was looking absolutely amazing. You know, I believe he had that fight with Demetrius that he just didn't look very good at all. We're going to pull up my memory banks on that. No, he didn't get to fight Demetrius. Or did he? It was Benavidez I was thinking about. He's got a couple tough losses to high-level opponents. Losing to Benavidez, losing to Sergio Pettis. Coming back, though, with 3 wins after that. Beating Wilson Hayes. He just destroyed him. Oh, he did lose. Yeah, way back. He came in and won 2 fights and got thrown to Demetrius. Sad. Very, very sad. Beats Dustin Ortiz. Mixed career so far in the UFC. Let's see, 1, 4, 5, 6 losses. 4, 5, 8 wins. So 8-6 record in the UFC. All in all, though, that fight itself, jeez, oh Pete's, man, this 14-0. I want to look who he's fought because I'm watching. The only reason I'm loving him is because he pulled back the old Tito Ortiz victory, where you dig the grave and then you bring your person in and then you cover it back. Whoa! If anybody knows what I'm talking about, or you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. Tito Ortiz wins fight. Just what Tito Ortiz highlights. You'll see it in a Tito Ortiz highlight when he wins. It's absolutely amazing. 4-fight win streak by this gentleman. Yeah, KO, split decision, KO, KO. Absolutely love that. You love to see stuff like that. You can't beat it. So there was a theme to this card, as if you've listened to Chael Sonnen point out, that there was a little bit of like redemption factor in this. Where are we going? I don't want to do that. Where are we going? Go back to where I want to be. As you know, we all do this live. I'm clicking and reading through this for you guys. There was a lot of redemption stories that didn't work out. And did work out. So Jake Ellenberger's got to be gone now, I'm assuming, or well understanding about retirement. I don't know exactly. He did lose. He's been very hit or miss. I don't know what's wrong. They were talked about a mental coach for him, so it's a little bit of an issue. Casey beating Hill in a close fight. They gave Michael Johnson the win over Andre Fili. I don't think that Johnson did enough to win that fight, but that's just what happens when you leave it up to the judges. The reason why it was so weird to me is I don't want to whatever. Spoiler alert! It already happened. You already can see it. You already know. If you're watching this, you're gonna know. It's just the fact that how can one judge score, if you go back and listen to it, one judge scores the card 29-28 Johnson. The next judge scores the card for Andre Fili 30-27. That means he thought that Fili dominated. He or she, I don't know exactly who judged that exactly. He or she said that he dominated that fight. Because it's a 30-27. That's a very, very big gap there in fight terms, in decision-wise. And then another 29-28. So very close, one-sided. Little weird to me. I expected Fili to win and Michael Johnson to be frustrated, like, I thought I did enough, and blah, blah, blah. That's Michael Johnson's career to me. I think I did enough, and I think he's got a lot to work on, but at 45, he looked better than 55. 55, he was getting hit and getting dropped and getting frustrated. It just wasn't working out for him. So this 45, if he can make it, and then be a little bit more active, and throw a little bit more and strategic and just work on his footwork. He's a little straight in the pocket. He's got some growing to do. He still is a little bit younger, but he has also been around for quite some time. He's lost in devastating fashion to multiple knockouts. He has had some chin issues. He got tested with Gaethje, beating the brakes off of him, just like he did to Vic. It's one of those things that if you're going to be in the fight business, you're going to have to know that these things are going to happen and how you bounce back from them. It's all about how you bounce back. The UFC and the fans don't care. If you lost 5 in a row and you come back and you starch 5, 6 guys, they're going to forget about that. And they're going to start thinking about this TKO monster that you've become. What I was really sad to see is Michael Johnson not really utilizing takedowns, not utilizing clinch control up against the fence. Very good card, though. That was a great fight, watching them throw at each other the whole entire time. Krause getting the win. I was happy to see James Krause also coming off the Ultimate Fighter. He fought in the UFC before, goes back, fights in the Ultimate Fighter, the show. I don't believe he won that, to be honest with you. He is the coach of Megan Anderson, 145 women's contender. Really good to see him perform. Mickey Gall doing his comeback, which was beautiful. If you didn't watch the Mickey Gall prelim fight on FS2, ruin it for you. The 30-second choke. Just gets his back in now. And then he chokes him. Then it's over. It's all gone. All over. All done with. Jesus. Absolutely amazing fight. Hidden drinks, guys. But all in all, I did have high hopes for one guy on the early prelims card just because of his name, John Tuck. He is the Super Saiyan, is his nickname. So if anybody knows me, I'm into all that. And let's segue that into, if you loving this and you like this and you want more content, head over to the YouTube channel for JROWCH and watch me on Twitch as well. We'll be playing some games, talking some fight stuff always as well. Can't help it. Come check me out on Twitch. Anyway, we're going to move on. Absolutely amazing fight. Go watch it, guys. The card was really, really good. I'm sure it's going to be on repeat on Fox for the next week. You'll be able to go check it out there. The major theme for this show right now, and what we're going to go over, is how the UFC stacked the rest of the year. So the early part of the year did not look very good for the UFC. They didn't have a lot of barn burner fights. They didn't have a lot of big names. They weren't getting a lot of pay-per-view buys. No one was tuning in to watch these cards. We'll see how well this one did. I don't know that it's going to do really well. Vic is for sure not a big name, not a household name. Gaethje's much, much bigger. Fight fans are going to turn out to go see a Gaethje fight no matter what. So I just wanted to see what they do as television numbers. Not that it totally matters. But where is this list? So here are just the main events coming this year that I can see and read off for you right now. Darren Till, Tyron Woodley. That's next. That's September 8th. That's your next pay-per-view, your pay-per-view in September. And then after that, Mark Hunt, I believe that is Alexei Oleinik. It doesn't give me the names up front for... Oh, yeah, Oleinik right there. Alexei Oleinik. It's just a good fight. And it's in Russia. So it's just going to be huge. Going to be hard to watch, probably. It looks like it's 2 p.m. Not mad at the 2 p.m. Not mad at that. Saturday 2 p.m. fights. It might be good to turn in on that. And then you've got Manawa versus Santos. Two people that are all first-team all-bodies. Giant, jacked gentlemen at the light heavyweight division. That fight is going to spark some talk to see who is next in line to be a number one contender or fight for a number one contendership. So that's absolutely amazing. And then, coming into October, we have the fight that everybody's been waiting for after Dollygate. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Conor McGregor. T-Mobile Arena, October 6th. Holy Lord, is that going to be crazy. We'll break down that fight much later on. We have a new segment coming up in the future here later on this week. You guys will see. We're going to, just a couple more real quick. You've got Volkan versus Smith. If you missed the Smith fight, I'll pull this up for you just to see if anybody else is it. Volkan Ozdemir versus Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith stepped in to fight Shogun, destroyed him. Fought Rashad Evans before that, destroyed him. So he's taking out old vets. Volkan came out and said, I don't care that you're knocking out these old veterans. Don't care. The fighter that he was supposed to fight pulled out. Something happened. I forget who it was actually off the top of my head right now. Smith says, I'll step in. I'll take that fight. We'll see how this goes. This is going to be two guys that like to scrap, that like to throw punches, that aren't going to look for takedowns. It's going to be a clinch game, throwing. Someone's going down, or it's going to be a crazy decision. Coming. It's going to be a pretty decent card, too. It's a fight night. Just this, the way that I look at it, the fight night should have about 2-3 headline, like, oh, wow, good, like, this is going to be good fights. And then we'll see what the rest is going to be. We'll go back to the rest after this. Let's just keep scrolling through. Where was this? Okay. I forgot that was announced. So there's a Madison Square Garden card, November 3rd. It's got to be determined, to be announced. But there's an FS1, November 10th, for the return of Chan Sung Jung, and he's fighting Frankie Edgar. So for me, this is amazing, because if Chan Sung Jung comes back from all of this, and if you don't know his story, he was destroying everybody. The first ever Twister victory in the UFC. If you don't know what the Twister is, go Google yourself some Eddie Bravo and the Twister and 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Wow, You're been under a rock if you're in the MMA community. He had to go in Korea, they have a mandatory military serve. So he had to serve about, I think it was 2 to 4. I think it was minimum 2, or I don't know, 2 to 4. We'll say 2 to 4 mandatory serving in the Korean army. So, or military. I don't know if it's the army, military. And he finally got done with that, got back into fighting again. He's going to fight a high-level competitor in Frankie Edgar. If he wins this fight, it puts him right back in the spot he was before he left in title contention. He was up there for Jose Aldo. I believe that he did get that fight, or a high-level fight, but his shoulder dislocated during the fight and just ruined it. And he was doing really well, and his shoulder popped out, and you're like, why? Why do they do this to us? So that's just a little bit. And I mean, you've got a card in China, another card in Vegas, a card in Australia, another one in Toronto in December. I believe in December 8th in Toronto, you're going to have Brian Ortega versus Max Holloway coming back finally. So the UFC stacked this up. Stacked it up completely. Shout out to them. Hats off. I can't believe the things that they've absolutely done with this year. It's great. So, UFC, absolutely amazing. Good job, guys. Good job. We're going to take a look at a little bit early here, UFC 228. Yeah, UFC 228. Guys, there's some crazy things going on in this. We're going to start, you know what, let's just blow this up big time. What? No way. Why is it not UFC fixture website? I can't see the last names of all these other people up here. Ryan Benoit, Roberto Sanchez, Jeff Neal, Franco Camacho. So then they do this early fight pass prelims for this card for UFC 228, right? And I love how the UFC is doing this now, and they're sticking with this. So the UFC, if you don't know, has, I believe it's a $9.99 per month subscription called Fight Pass. Fight Pass gets you early fight card prelims. It gets you access to certain fights afterwards. Sometimes they put the pay-per-views a couple months after on the Fight Pass, or certain fights on there that you're able to watch. You get access to lion fights, I believe, and all of these other crazy different things like, what is it, Eddie Bravo's EBI, Eddie Bravo Invitational. I don't know if Flow Grappling is part of it or not. Don't quote me on that. You get a lot of content, all of the Pride fights, all the Strike Force fights, all of that content that you may want to see or you want to delve into or anything like that. Your embeddeds, all that's there. Dana White's Looking for a Fight is on YouTube, and I'm sure you'll get it there. Oh, the Contender Series. That's the main thing. You get the Tuesday Night Contender Series. That's on Fight Pass. So what they're doing here, and I'm glad they did it this way. This is a really good way to do it. They took Jim Miller versus Alex White. And Alex White is young, new, up-and-coming, 12-3 record against a wily veteran in Jim Miller, 28-11. Not a very easy fight for anyone. Always fights his heart out, always gives it all. He's either going to go out in a shield or he takes you out. It's just what happens. Submission victories, knockout victories. It's just amazing. You watch Nate Diaz put him through the ringer and then beat the crap out of him and have to choke him out just to get him to go away. Really good fight. Alex White's got a 42% TKO KO knockout. Really good, though. I like the way the UFC is stacking this, because then the next fight after that on the prelims, the top two, we'll say the co and the main event for the prelims, the next one would be Diego Sanchez against Craig White. Craig White, again, up-and-coming guy, 14-8 record. His nickname is the Thundercat. That's awesome. Very big submission artist, it looks like. 64% victory of sub. Wow. Takedowns defended, 100%. Not too bad when you're fighting Diego Sanchez, but Diego Sanchez loves to bang. And you got Diego at 29-11, wily old veteran, still fighting the game. Didn't even know I thought he retired, to be honest with you. So it's a little weird to see him out there. But I like that they took younger guys that are up and coming against older guys that are a little bit past their prime, but they're still fighting, that are still looking and reaching for a possible title contention, or still just enjoy fighting and love doing this as their job and as the sport. So it doesn't take away from the rest of the card, and it doesn't feel like they're taking a fight that should have been on FX or Fox or whatever and bringing it down to Fight Pass. A lot of the times it's always felt like, wow, this isn't really a great fight, or these aren't really great fights, so why should I even buy the prelim stuff or the Fight Pass? Or it's been, wow, this fight never should be here. It should be up one. I feel bad for this person. It's not really helping their career any. It's not doing anything for them. This way, everybody that does have Fight Pass, all the hardcore fans see these. The hardcore UFC and fight fans are going to see these fights, and they're going to know these guys, and they're going to help promote, and it's going to help grow their name, and it's going to be even better. Because these guys aren't going to get the spark, well-known notoriety that you're going to get from Conor McGregor in the Fight Pass, and they're not going to get it this early in their career. So it's a good move by the UFC. I like that they're making smart decisions now. It seemed something happened. They sat down and they had a meeting, and something happened and pivoted where they just kept getting called out and called out and called out and made fun of and ripped on. They still need a fighters union, still not there yet, still need collective bargaining, still need agreements to help these fighters out. People are still getting paid. Things are still happening. I mean, you hear Bruce Buffer just talk about Nate Diaz got $7 million when he fought Conor McGregor. That was unheard of before. Or you think that they just get $50,000 or $20,000 or whatever it may be. There's more going into it. But I also know that they can make more money. There's also potential for the fighters to gain more money. So I don't like seeing that they're not making that amount, but it's happening all over. It's happening in the music industry. It's happening everywhere. So you're just going to get that. Enough rant ended. Moving up into the FX. I'm surprised it's on FX. Normally they're on Fox. Cool, it's on FX. Jimmy Rivera, John Dodson. What is this at 135? Wow. This is interesting because TJ Dillashaw is the 135 champion. And TJ Dillashaw's only loss that he has not come back and destroyed the person with Rafael Assunção. He lost that first fight, comes back, beats the brakes off of him. John Dodson beat TJ Dillashaw at 145, I believe it was. Coming out of the Ultimate Fighter, the show, main event, John Dodson just starched him. If you haven't seen John Dodson, he's 63 inches. He's a very short dude, but he's just built strong. The way to beat him is the way that TJ has beaten other, like Linekers, these big, heavy-handed guys. You just got to watch out for wrestling and ground and pound. Very interesting fight here, though, between two high-level fighters. Number 5, Jimmy Rivera. Number 7, John Dodson. I can't believe this is on FX. But looking at the card, I know one fight is being removed from the main card just because of injury. We'll get to that in a second. So one of these fights has the potential to jump up to that spot. I'm going to say it's John Dodson, Jimmy Rivera. If anything, I move that fight up. Next after this, you have Abdul Razak Al-Hassan versus Nico Price. Anybody who knows anything about Nico Price, dude knocks people out. Apparently, Abdul does as well with a 100% knockout. He's 9-1 record. Good golly, Miss Molly. Lord have mercy on his soul. I cannot believe that oh, wow. 9-1, 12-1. Absolutely awesome fight. Cannot beat that. What's next on here? We've got Charles Byrd, Darren Stewart. That's absolutely nothing. I don't really know too much about these guys. There's not really anything I can do to break it down for you. The guy's name is The Dentist and Kid Dynamite. Wow. Another 88% knockout. It's just young, up-and-coming, boosting the UFC's roster. Love it. Next one. Absolutely love this fight. You got Aljamain Sterling versus Cody Stamann. I'm going to call him Stamann. Stamann is what it looks like. It's pretty cool. I tend to lean towards Aljamain in most things just because I know him more, and I think that he's a very well-rounded fighter. Let's pull up Cody's record. and who he's fought before we Ooh, wow. He beat Brian Caraway and 2 no-namers. Unanimous, split. So, controversial start. So, what I want to look at right here is Aljamain's record. Because I was looking at a possible Aljamain versus Sugar Sean O'Malley fight. And that's not happening. Sean O'Malley's fighting somebody else. The reason why is because Aljamain went on such a tear. He won. Wow. He actually. Oh, he's already fought Cody Gibson. He beat him. And did he beat? Oh, Cody Stamen. I was like, did he fight Cody Gibson too? That's must have messed up in my head there. Aljamain beats Cody Gibson. I don't know. He loses 2 fights. Oh, he lost to Brian Caraway. Then he lost to Rafael Sunsao. He loses to Marlon Moraes, but he just beat Brett Johns. He comes back for this. This is a... Oh, because he beat Renan Barão. Aljamain Sterling beat Renan Barão. All I can say is Aljamain Sterling has all of the talent to beat anyone at any time, anywhere. But he's effectively just a little young, needs some more time. Number 8 ranked in the division for the 135ers. Is that one? Wow, I thought he was at 145 for some reason. Maybe he dropped. I don't remember. Solid moves on for him. He might have made a move that I did not notice. He might have lost those 2 1-1. Oh, no, I think he's just stayed in the same division. Either way, Aljamain Sterling's my pick to win this fight. I'll give you that one early and often. And then we're going to move on to the main card, guys. Absolutely crazy, especially because it's stacked with female fights. Absolutely stacked. You have this first fight on the main card, which is Yair Rodriguez versus Zabit Magomedsharipov, and that fight's not happening. Yair Rodriguez is hurt. Zabit wants to fight somebody. I think Lineker called him out, and Lineker's a 125er. So maybe they'll do a catch weight, something at like 136 or something ridiculous. 140, maybe if Lineker can make it. I'm sure he can. He's probably cutting a lot of weight for being such a beefy dude anyway. I don't know if that works for Zabit, though. I mean, I would love to see him take somebody else fill into that position, but it's such on short notice right now where you got 4, 8, wow. Barely 2 weeks. About 2 weeks, we'll say, total, because this has been announced before today, that the fight was off. So you get about 2 weeks to fill in on somebody. So we don't know. Maybe somebody else moves up. Maybe they take, let's see, who else is fighting at 145 below here? Do we have anybody? John Dotson, Jimmy Rivera, but they're not going to take that. I mean, yeah, there's nothing you could do from the card. They didn't really set it up so you could move somebody up to do this, so... And that's why I see Rivera, John Dotson moving up to do the Zabit Magomedsharipov replacement fight. Maybe Zabit gets off to the next card, maybe. We'll see. And then you've got an absolutely amazing fight for the 115 women's division. Carla Esparza versus Tatiana Suarez. Carla Esparza's been in the game for quite some time. She was on the Tough Show. That's where she got the belt in the first place. Lost it to Joanna Jędrzejczyk. If you have not seen that, guys, go watch the fight. She's a monster. Takedown artist, wrestling, ground and pound, smash, be in front of your face. This is going to be a crazy fight. This one probably goes the distance, but you're not going to be disappointed. I've never watched a female fight in the UFC and been disappointed. Surprisingly, for some reason, guys are way more timid about losing and about getting hit than the girls are, the women are. Wow, it's crazy. And especially these 3 fights back to back to back here. So you've got this one. And then right after that, in the same division, which is probably the number 1 contender, the winner of this fights Rose, Thug Rose. You got Jessica Andrade versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Or Kowalkiewicz. I don't know. I'm going to have to re-ask. I got Polish roommates. I'll go ask him after this. I'll make up for it on Twitter. Sorry, guys. She's got a 12-2 record, and Jessica Andrade's got 18-6. If you haven't seen Jessica Andrade, she's like a tank. She's all traps. It looks like she has no neck. It's like this. It's absolutely crazy. She's hunched over. She could be the Mike Tyson of the 115 women's division. I'm surprised she hasn't knocked out more women. It's insane. Carolina's more of a grinder, more of an in-your-face, technical, clinch pressure fighter. Lots of decisions, I would say, from her more so than anything else. I don't really see her as a finisher. But this is going to be another one of those things where if it doesn't end in some sort of TKO, it's just going to be punches and bunches and takedowns and ground and pound and smash fighting. It's going to be a great, great fight. I can't believe that they stacked this card the way that they did with all of these female fights. I'm so glad they did because it's going to showcase them very, very well. And then probably the fight that I'm most excited for in any women's division, and that's the brand new 125 women's division. Because you have Kyrgyzstan, I think that's where she's from, but I thought she was Polish, to be honest with you, or Russian. Valentina Shevchenko, number one in that division, is going to be fighting the champion, Nico Montano. And if Lord have mercy on this one, I've not seen Nico fight. I'm not counting her out. She has a 5-2 record. She looks like a nice person. She has the chance to win this like everybody else has a chance to win the fight. I think Valentina Shevchenko destroys and becomes the new 125 women's champion and kind of takes it to the next Joanna level. She's going to be the next Joanna Jędrzejczyk in Europe. She's going to be the next face of a women's division. She's semi-well-spoken. She's a dime piece all body. She loves guns. She's very, I don't know. She's very easy for people to gravitate to, especially in the sport of MMA. You see a lot of people that have the same interests as MMA, kind of have the same interests as her. Just go to her Instagram, check her out, watch her. Valentina Shevchenko, guys, you're not going to be upset by going through her Rolodex. She likes to put the pressure on. She likes to hurt people. She likes to throw those elbows. She likes to just smash. So this fight could steal the show of all of it. Of all of it. It has the potential to. These women have a potential to just steal the show in general. These three fights. So proud of where the women's division has gone in multiple divisions and where it has gone in general, because I don't think people thought it was going to be like this. And it absolutely is now. It's absolutely taken over the world. You got Ronda Rousey transitioning over to the WWE. You see how her career is going. Absolutely amazing. And you've got these women now to be able to transition. You're going to be able to go like, I want to say it was not Alpha Zingano, Gina Carano. Gina Carano, she transitioned it into a acting career. I want to see other women be able to do this, to be able to put themselves in a position to where they can easily transition into something else. You know what I mean? Easily transition into something else. So the last fight on the card, the absolute main event that we need to talk about it's weird because this should have been Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley. And we all should have been excited for it. And we all should have been racing crazily to watch this fight and want to see that fight. Colby did something to Dana and make him mad or upset or say he had to get not be for the fight, so he doesn't get the fight. He gets pulled from the card or says he can't fight on this one, even though it's going to be a month later he wanted to fight. I don't know the turmoil. I don't know the controversy. All I know is I'm a Darren Till fan, and I have been since the knockout on Cerrone because I didn't know who the hell he was until he knocked out Cerrone. He's huge. Huge for the division. He's giant. His nickname is the Gorilla. He's up against Tyron Woodley, who's had snooze fest after snooze fest of fights. Finally, maybe Till has woken him up. Maybe we'll see something. If anything, I think that Till's the guy to be able to take the punches from Tyron Woodley that no one's been able to take And Tyron Woodley is going to have to be able to take him down and put the pressure on him. And I think that Darren Till works on stuffing the takedowns. And if it comes to standing, we already know that Darren Till wins standing. Muay Thai background, stayed in Brazil for quite some time and living there. He's a great stand-up fighter. Heavy hands, heavy elbows. We saw him train with Mike Perry. If you guys looked at their Instagram or whatever, and Mike Perry's bloodied up. Everybody that Darren Till is training with recently gets bloodied up. You see the pictures on Instagram. We know what's going to happen. I'm excited for this fight, and if you don't know and you haven't heard it in my voice already, I want Darren Till to win. It gives life to the division. It breathes life into the division. Because here's what gets to happen. Now you could get a rematch. You could get a Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley. You get a Stephen Wonderboy. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop telling you guys what else we could do. Because I wanted to get in on a little bit of letting you guys know we are going to do small segments later on this week. And I hope you guys really enjoy those, because what they're going to be is, I'm going to call it Perfect Path or something of that. And we're going to talk about headliners, champions, contenders, but we're going to pick people. So I'm going to pick Darren Till, and we're going to do the Perfect Path. We're going to break down the perfect path for Darren Till going into this fight. And obviously it's going to change for people from time to time if they lose or whatever happens to them and where they go. So we're going to do these small segments, a couple fighters a week. I'm going to pick who they are, and we're going to let you guys know. Like, for instance, Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor wins and beats Khabib Nurmagomedov. What's the best case scenario for him? He fights George St. Pierre. Then he fights Nate Diaz and then George St. Pierre. One of the two. He doesn't have to fight anymore after that. It's all up to him of what he wants. I see him having the ability to win, call out GSP, call out Nate, or retire. We would pick which one would be the best case scenario, and why it would be the best case scenario for what reasons, whether it be money, fame, notoriety, whatever you're looking for. We'll break it down for main reasons. If you're doing it for fame, this is the best case scenario. If you're doing it for the money, this is the best case scenario. If you're doing it for legacy, this is the best case scenario. So we are going to come up with a new segment for you guys to kind of make this a little bit more fresh throughout the week. We're going to have the State of MMA Today early in the week, Monday, Tuesdays, and then we're going to come into later in the week to have these easy little pieces that go into. That way we're breaking down the card early in the week. You're able to see this. It's getting in front of you. We're going to make it about 40 minutes to an hour tops so you guys don't have too much in front of you. And that way we can just have a discussion, have some fun, talk about these fights, break them down, tell you what's going to be going on, show you my excitement, because I'm excited for this. There's so many good cards coming up. So many good cards coming up. I'm surprised in this one. Again, Valentina Shevchenko versus Montano and Andrade versus Kovalevich. I don't even know what to say. And then you had Yair Rodriguez versus Magomed Sharapov, and I don't understand. Like, wow, if that wouldn't have gone, and gotten scrapped because of an injury, this is a stacked card. This is close to Conor Khabib's stacked fight. That's how stacked this is. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, so quickly before the end, I'm just going to give you my picks. We'll also post them on my Instagram. If you want to go check out the Instagram, it's at jroach89, and same thing on Twitter. You'll see more content from the channel, and it'll be fun. We'll have more interactive there, so I'll be able to reach out and talk to you guys, answer questions, anything of that sort. You'll see my picks there. Right now, I'm also going to tell you, I'm going to go Till, Shevchenko, Andrade, Esparza. I won't do the Rodriguez fight because it's not happening. I don't know what's going to happen. Sterling. Scrapping the Bird Stewart because I don't know. I'm going to pick Nico Price. Then I'm going to pick John Dotson. I'm going to pick Jim Miller and Diego Sanchez. Picking the veterans. And the last three fights I can't tell you because I don't know any of them. So that's up to you guys. Look on those. Let me know what you think. More breakdowns to come. Perfect path's coming your way. It'll be fun. I'm really, really excited for that one. A little bit less of a show, more of a little 5 to 10 minute segment that could be quite fun and interesting, maybe 15 minutes at max. I think I'm going to try to make it easy, digestible, quick for you guys. Really appreciate everything. Glad to be back on this. We are finally on our 10th episode of the State of MMA Today. After coming back from Austin, it was absolutely amazing. Shout out to Austin, everybody down there. Love the Austin family. Possible place that we're going to be moving to and changing this from a Chicago-based place to an Austin-based area. Going to absolutely love that. A lot of fighters down there. A lot of people to talk to. Great weather, all that fun stuff. So thank you for all the hospitality when we're down there, guys. Shout out to On It. Appreciate it. As you see the sponsors in the corner, go check them out. You got the affiliate code down below. Always going to be a great thing. I really appreciate you guys for all the support. You know that. You always know that. You see in the background? That was TDC MMA, guys. This is the State of MMA Today. I'm your host, Jeremy Roach. We're out.